Once upon a time there were three brothers, and they were goats, and they were gruff. They were the Three Goats Gruff, and they were quite warm. They weren't the chilly goats gruff, they were the Billy Goats Gruff, and they lived on one side of a steep, deep valley. Their side was brown and dry, and the other side was green and sweet, but it was a steep, deep valley. It was very, very deep, and at the bottom of the valley there ran a raging river that was so wide and wild it couldn't be passed by jumping or swimming. You would be swept away to sea, never to be seen again. The only way to get from one side of the valley to the other side of the deep, steep valley was over a rickety old bridge. But nobody ever went over the bridge, because underneath the bridge there lived an old, mean, hungry troll who would eat anybody that tried to cross over the bridge. He was rude, he was smelly, he was violent, and he supported the wrong football team. But the goats looked at their dry brown grass, and they looked at the green sweet grass on the other side of the steep, deep valley that was very, very, very deep. One day they could bear it no more. They decided to try and cross the bridge. Well, the first goat, whose name was Small Goat, and he was quite sensible. He wasn't a silly goat gruff, he was a small Billy Goat Gruff. He decided to try first. He walked to the bridge, he looked around. It was quiet. He put one hoof, trip, next hoof, trap, trip, trap, trip, trap, trip, trap, trip. But when he got halfway across the rickety old bridge, a sound and a smell came up from underneath. It was the troll. "Oh, man," he said, "what do you think you're doing? Who's that trapping over my bridge?" And he emerged in front of the billy goat, who stood with his little horns looking up at the big, scary, smelly, rude troll. And the troll said, "I'm going to eat yez." The billy goat gruff said, "No, don't eat me. I'm only the small billy goat gruff. Wait for my brother, whose name is the medium-sized billy goat gruff, to come. He's much meatier than me and would give you a better meal." "Oh, champion," said the troll, and crept back down underneath the bridge. Well, the small Billy Goat Gruff continued to trip-trap over the bridge until he got to the field of sweet grass where there were buttercups and cutterpops growing, and he started to frolic and gambol around the meadow. The second Billy Goat Gruff, whose name was Medium-Sized Goat, now his clothes were quite plain. He wasn't a frilly goat gruff, he was a Billy Goat Gruff. He saw the small Billy Goat Gruff frolicking and gambolling amongst the meadow flowers, and he thought, "I too will cross the bridge." So he did. He walked to the bridge and looked around. It was quiet. One hoof on, trip, trap, trip, trap, trip, trap, trip, trap, until he got to the middle of the bridge. But then a smell and a sound came up from underneath the bridge. It was the troll, and the troll came up and said, "Oh, man, who's that trip-trapping over my bridge?" And the medium-sized Billy Goat Gruff said, "It's me, the medium-sized Billy Goat Gruff, with his medium-sized horns." And the troll said, "Oh, I'm going to eat yez." And the medium-sized Billy Goat Gruff said, "No, don't eat me." And he looked across at the troll, with whom he was approximately level, and he said, "You must wait until my brother, the big, mighty, scary Goat Gruff, comes along. He's much meatier than me. He does Joe Wicks every morning. He's got awfully big muscles." And the troll said, "Oh, champion, I'll wait." And he crept back underneath his bridge. The medium-sized Billy Goat Gruff trip-trapped all the way to the end, into the meadow with the sweet green grass where there were growing some dandelions and landydines all amongst the grass, and he began to frolic and gambol with his brother, the small Billy Goat Gruff. Watching from the first side of the steep, deep valley that was very, 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 very deep, the big and mighty Billy Goat Gruff, whose name was Big Mighty Goat. Now, he tended to keep his glass quite level. None of the water came out of it. He wasn't a Billy Goat Gruff. He was a Billy Goat Gruff. He walked to the bridge. He looked left. He looked right. It was quiet. He put one of his mighty hooves on the bridge. Trip, trap, trip, trap, trip, trap, trip, trap, until he got to the middle of the bridge. And then a sound and a smell came up from underneath the bridge. It was the troll. And the troll came out and said, "Who's that chip-chapping over my bridge like?" And the big mighty Billy Goat Gruff said, "It's me, the big and mighty Billy Goat Gruff. What's it to you?" And the troll said, "Wah, I'm gonna eat yes." But the big, mighty Billy Goat Gruff didn't think this was really going to happen. He put down his mighty head with his big horns, and he ran, and he charged, and he butted the troll right off the bridge, down, down, into the deep, steep valley that was very, very deep. The troll fell down, 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 down. Into the wild and raging river, where he was swept away to sea, never to be seen again. The third Billy Goat Gruff, the big and mighty Billy Goat, trip-trapped to the end of the bridge, joined his brothers on the green, sweet side of the valley, and munched away on the meadow flowers. And they all lived happily ever after.